300 million euros have been spent by clubs in the Saudi Pro League already in the 2023-24 season. A $1 billion offer for 1 year of Kylian Mbappe has been submitted by Al Hilal, and a reported $21 billion budget for a 7-year transfer spree. It has come out of nowhere, and it's hitting the world hard. The Saudi League is not to be taken lightly. Already, they've signed Benzema, Cristiano Ronaldo, and N'Golo Kante. Just 3 years ago, these would have all been considered 3 of the greatest football players of all time. But the question on everyone's lips has stayed the same. Are Saudi Arabia ruining the beautiful game? If they carry on at this rate, what will football look like in 10 years? How are other leagues supposed to sign players if they can't match the wages of these Saudi clubs? In this video, we're going to be looking into whether or not the Saudi League is destroying football as we know it. It all started in 2010, when Qatar was controversially awarded the hosting rights for the 2022 World Cup. No one even really knew that football existed in the Middle East, and people questioned the morals of the decision that was made. However, despite controversy, they went through with it, and suddenly, in the Middle East, billions of dollars were suddenly invested into football stadiums and teams in the Middle East. Many sheikhs and other billionaires from Middle East saw this as an opportunity to make money, so everywhere from Saudi Arabia to Qatar began completing huge builds to create a footballing scene in the Middle East. The big question at the time was the human rights conversation. There were many reported to be used as slaves to build the stadiums, and rumors of hundreds dying during the construction of the stadiums were surfacing. People like Gary Neville spoke out about this, but nothing was done, as we have to respect their laws, as they're their own country. Then, once the World Cup was wrapped up, the next shockwave came. Cristiano Ronaldo moved to Al Nassr, in a very strange transfer that not many were even expecting. From then, it seems like half of the players from Europe's leagues have been following him to Saudi Arabia and chasing that big payday. Huge salaries have been dished out to any and every player, from N'Golo Kante to Riyad Mahrez to Jordan Henderson. Many players have gone. But why is this a problem? The term sports washing has been thrown around an awful lot in the last 2 months. The Cambridge Dictionary states, supporting sport or organizing sports events as a way to improve its reputation. The choice of venue for the Formula One race raised criticism from human rights activists who accused the country of sports washing, using sports events to create a positive image. This is the term the Cambridge Dictionary used for the definition of sports washing. What do you think? People are saying this is what's happening in Saudi and that it's ruining the sport. Their point of view is that all the top players are there. That means people will be interested in them and not other things going on in the country. For example, the heavy accusations of violations of human rights. People think that if everyone's watching the football, no one will really care about the people because they're too interested in the game. The third reason people see this as a problem is that they're saying it is going to take away from Europeans' football's entertainment. All these top players leaving due to high wages means a lower quality of football in Europe. The Champions League, Premier League, and La Liga all gradually getting weaker, slowly ruining the game, and also inflating the market, making it harder for other leagues to purchase players. European football will only get worse if all these players keep going to Saudi. However, there are also a lot of counter-arguments to this, about it all being fine, and a lot of people think everything about this is completely legitimate, and there is nothing wrong with what's going on in the Saudi Pro League. These are a few of the counter-arguments people have against this. Look at the Premier League. After its formation in 1992, English football have been signing players from other leagues for years, stealing players from European leagues like the Portuguese League, the Ukrainian League, and other similar ones. The players then only moving because of this massive paycheck, just like what's happening in Saudi. These players are solely going for the money, but people don't seem to be happy about this because it's not the league that they follow. They feel many fans are salty and trying to gatekeep the players, when in reality, it's just completely up to the player whether he wants to move or not. Take a look at this graphic. It shows that in 23-24 season, Saudi Pro League have spent the 5th out of all the leagues. At the top is the Premier League, with over $1 billion, and then Saudi have $300 million spend. The Premier League is spending a significant amount more than them. Some would say that the Premier League fans don't have the right to complain about how much the Saudi League spends, when this is the reality. A lot of fans may just be jealous that some of the best players in the top leagues are moving to Saudi Arabia, and they're trying to keep them because they want their league to be better. I don't think we've seen a situation like this in the last few decades, even possibly in the history of football. But either way, it's a very interesting topic for sport at the minute. They already done it to F1, they've already done it to golf, but what do you think about the current situation in world football? Do you think Saudi Arabia is ruining the beautiful game? Let me know in the comments. Now, that's all I have for this week's video on a controversial topic. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.